So starting today, I'm opening enrollment for my course, Language Therapy Advance. And this past year, I've done several launches with the founding members, so the first people who got into the course. And they've been able to get great results with their students and maintain their own work-life balance in the process. So I wanted to share a couple of the stories of current students before I give you the details of the course. First, I'll tell you about Connie. Connie is a teletherapist who has been in the field for over 20 years, obviously not doing teletherapy that whole time. And she's worked with students all the way from preschool through high school, and she was able to use the techniques from Language Therapy Advance in the online format. Connie was in the same boat as many other SLPs where language therapy felt like a chore. She wasn't sure why she was doing what she was doing, and her students weren't engaged and motivated, and of course weren't making the progress she wanted. Now she's had students who were stuck in the same place for ages, who were getting sick of speech, who have made a complete turnaround, and now who have been so motivated that they've been bringing their own vocabulary words to therapy from books that they're reading, excited to work with them. And she said several students who had very poor syntax in the past, who have been able to pick up on different sentence structures on their own and have been able to start figuring out how to create sentences after learning to think about language differently. So these are structures that she hasn't had to teach them because they've been able to figure things out on their own and take what she has taught them and apply it because they are actually starting to think about language in a different way. And also, Connie shared with me that she was spending tons of time planning. She said that planning for a session would take almost as long, if not longer, than this session itself. But now that she's learned a good system by taking this course, she's been able to cut that time in half and sometimes more. Next, I want to tell you about Carole. Carole has an early elementary caseload and was really struggling with wrapping her head around ways to treat students who had word retrieval issues, and after years of being in the field was still looking for a system that would help her tie everything together so there was a rhyme and a reason to what she was doing in therapy. Carole actually just signed up for volume 1 of the program I'm going to tell you about, so she was able to get these results having just gone through part of the program that I'm going to share. So here's what she had to say. Finally, I want to tell you about Rachel. Rachel is an absolute rock star. She's a full-time SLP in a pre-K through 8 building that has specialized programs for students with hearing impairments and also typical general education population as well. She is also getting her doctorate, just had a baby last year, is training for a marathon and I think a triathlon as well, and is also working on starting a private practice on the side. So needless to say, she does not have a lot of time to spend on paperwork and planning, and she had a huge need to plan therapy efficiently. And this is what she said about the course. One thing that she pointed out was that it was delivered in a way that she could log in whenever she wants because it is in an online format, and it was presented in a way that she was able to follow along and implement the strategies right away to get some quick results. With this program, these aren't secret strategies that no one else knows about, but instead I've taken techniques that have already been proven by research and just put them into a framework that allows you to structure your therapy so you can create profound results with less effort. And because I've used the system myself, I've created scripts, templates, and step-by-step guides and compiled all the techniques into a system for you so you don't have to do the legwork on your own. Language Therapy Advance is one of the only programs that will show you exactly what to do for those students with academic language problems and really lay out a system for you. Because back when I started my career, I was that frazzled SLP I described earlier, so I know how you feel if you're frustrated with your job, but I stuck with it, dug into the research, and created this system, and took a leap of faith and tried it with some of my language cases that were just stuck in the same place. And I finally started either dismissing some of those cases, not because we'd given up, but because they were better. And some of those students who needed massive amounts of support got to that next level of independence when I started using the right system. And that's why I want to share it with you. What makes this slightly different from some of the other continuing education opportunities and courses you may have taken in the past is because I do not want to throw so much information at you that you're totally fried and then you go back to work and can't quite remember how to implement what you've learned. There's actually research on the effectiveness of professional development that shows that getting too much at one time isn't effective because we only implement a small percentage of what we learn. Instead, what actually creates lasting results is a professional learning community and the opportunity to learn at your own pace and consume information, but then be able to discuss it with like-minded people and implement one thing at a time. So that's why this course is structured in an online format where you can log into modules and watch the videos at your own pace as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. And there's also a Facebook group that goes along with the course modules and some live Q&A sessions so that you're able to get support with all of the information in the course. Language Therapy Advance Volume 1 will show you the key components of effective language therapy for most students who have academic language issues, which I refer to as your language therapy curriculum. And within each component of this framework, I'll show you specific research-based treatment techniques. But once you have this system, you'll still need to know how to prioritize and pick and choose which of the components are most appropriate for your students. So in Volume 2, I'll show you how to do this. So you'll learn how to handle all of those behind-the-scenes things that we need to do when planning for therapy, like writing goals, writing present level statements, making sure therapy is aligned with the grade level curriculum. And you'll also learn in the second volume how to take your language therapy curriculum that you learned in the first volume and customize it because it needs to be individualized in order to have that therapeutic focus. What I'm offering you today is an opportunity to sign up for Language Therapy Advance, which is a 2-volume course. So I'm going to go through the specific content in both of those volumes and what you'll actually get if you decide to sign up for the program today. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the modules in the program. We'll talk about Volume 1 first. In Module 1, you'll learn the key origin of many academic language issues and the most effective component to add to your therapy so that you're getting better results with less work. In Module 2, you'll learn the components of the curriculum and the ingredients to add to your sessions that produce lasting results. In Module 3, we go even deeper, and I'll cover some specific therapy techniques that address grammar, syntax, and semantics. And you'll get printable worksheets and handouts you can reuse as many times as you want. In Module 4, I'll show you how to use metalinguistic awareness training to help students generalize with some common areas of struggle, including answering questions, writing, and listening comprehension. And I'll show you how to do it with protocols you can use even if you're only seeing your students 30 to 40 minutes per week. Now let's talk about the core modules in Volume 2. Here is where we apply that curriculum we learned in Volume 1 to what we do on a day-to-day basis to make it feasible. In Module 1, I'm going to show you a structured system for understanding the curriculum and making your therapy relevant for the academic settings, and how to make this manageable even if you have a wide range of grade levels to cover. In Module 2, I'm going to show you how you can gain a comprehensive understanding of how your students are doing across settings, so that you know exactly where to intervene to make the greatest impact. And we'll cover a structured process you can follow that you can use to make the most of consulting time, so you get exactly what information you need from teachers and make sense of the massive amounts of data you need to analyze, including both academic information and data from therapy and evaluations. And I'll give you templates you can use so that you can write a present level statement quickly.
so you don't need to spend so much time and energy on paperwork. In Module 3, I'll show you how you can write focused, effective goals that you can track easily, and a process you can use to quickly write goals that will cut hours of behind-the-scenes planning time, because you'll have a clear picture of why and how you're targeting your goals. And there's a goal bank included with this program, so you'll learn how to use it in this module. In Module 4, we'll tackle data collection and strategic treatment planning, so you'll know how to integrate the highest priority techniques from the first volume of the course. In addition to the core modules for the courses, you'll also get a number of other bonuses when you join the program. There is some specific bonus material within each course. For Volume 1, there are a ton of supplemental handouts that include worksheets that you can actually use as therapy materials and protocols for delivering specific treatment techniques. This includes protocols for semantic features, morphological analysis printouts, syntactic awareness cheat sheets and protocols for therapy, phonological and orthographic awareness cheat sheets, a printable infographic that explains the origins of many language disorders, a detailed protocol for written language, printable protocols to target answering questions, a detailed step-by-step guide to teach students to self-question, a productivity system worksheet, and finally, a course reference list.
Then for Volume 2, the handouts are structured a little bit differently. I've put them all into one manual. So I'll explain a little bit more about what's in the manual now.
Here's a quick look at the table of contents from the manual. The outline is similar to the course modules. The first chapter provides several cheat sheets and templates you can use to create your own go-to curriculum guide, so you have a reference tool for the expectations across all the grade levels you serve. In Chapter 2, I've included a detailed guide you can use for collecting information about your students' performance in academic settings, so you know exactly what you're looking for and you can move through the process efficiently and prioritize. And there's also a rating scale you can use to collect information from teachers on student performance in the classroom. In Chapter 3, we continue with present levels, but this includes templates and scripts for writing reports using data from therapy and formal language evaluations, so you can simplify the process. In Chapter 4, I address writing goals, and this includes a goal bank for language therapy to help demystify this process, and a worksheet you can use to come up with effective goals. In Chapter 5, I've included tools that will help you take data easily and effectively. And then in Chapter 6, I've included a resource list that will help you choose appropriate treatment techniques from LanguageTherapyAdvance Volume 1 based on the goals you've written using the Goal Bank.
Then for support with both Volumes 1 and 2, so the entire course package, you will have the private members-only Facebook community where you can go for support from me to connect with other members and to have those professional discussions that can really help add to your understanding of what you're learning in the course. And then additionally, I will be doing several sets of live Q&A sessions. So usually I do them in sets of 4 and they're usually every other week or so. And I schedule those rounds of sessions a couple times a year just to help add to your understanding of the modules. So once you sign up, you'll find out when the next round of Q&A sessions will be. And those are done in the Facebook community via Facebook Live. And they're structured so that even if you're not able to make it live on the call, you'll still be able to rewatch them at a later time and ask questions if you need to.
Now let's talk about who this program is for. If you're an SLP working with school-age students ranging from early elementary through junior high, and you have students who are really struggling in school due to language issues like grammar, syntax, and poor literacy skills, and you feel like you just can't get to all the skills you need to target, this program is for you. You could make the case that some of the techniques in this program would also be beneficial for high school, but full disclosure here, I've worked mostly with junior high and younger, so this is where I'll be able to help you with specific examples. Next, if you're stuck and drowning in paperwork and struggle to write goals and stay on top of data collection, and you aren't quite sure what exactly your role is with the school-aged population or how to effectively collaborate with teachers to align with the curriculum, this program is for you. And last, if you want to improve your ability to deliver effective treatment to those specific academic language skill deficits, this is for you. Of course, this isn't for everyone, so let's talk about who this isn't for. If you're looking for quick tips and tricks or craft type activities and aren't committed specifically to working with students with school-age language disorders, and you don't really want to change what you're doing to create a system, this isn't for you. Also, if you're looking for a program that will target social language or life skills curriculums, or if you're working mostly with clients who aren't reading and writing at all, this program isn't for you.
Next, you're probably wondering the cost. So normally, if you just go to my website on any given day, the tuition for Language Therapy Advance would be $497 if you would purchase it on my website. And I know that that's a big investment. So that's why this week I am running a special flash sale from now until Friday, and I am offering it for $297 so I can make it more affordable for you. Now I know that that's still a big investment, but it's less than a college course, and it's comparable to a conference, and you also don't have to worry about the costs of travel, the costs of food and transportation and hotels, because I'm bringing the course to you and you can watch it whenever you'd like. I understand that it's frustrating when you sign up for programs or order materials and find that they're not what you'd expected. And that's why I want to remove all risk for you and offer you a 90-day money-back guarantee. So within 90 days of signing up for the program, you can request your money back as long as you can show me that you've put in the work and implemented the strategies in the program. Also, remember the bonus I told you about at the beginning of this webinar for those of you who sign up today, and I will keep this available for 1 hour past the ending of this webinar. We have the free bonus, which is the testing time saver for language evaluation. And here's an example of the handout for the language processing test again, so you can see an example of what those look like. But each table includes a description of the subtests, a behavioral description of what the student has to do for each section of the test, and exactly what language skill it measures so that you'll know how to make sense of it and choose your evaluations wisely. And I'm giving you full permission to literally take these subtest descriptions word for word and put them directly into your reports or present level statements so you can give a narrative description of your evaluation. This way you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time you write a report. So if you're in, don't wait to sign up because I don't want you to miss out on this bonus.
So now it's up to you. You can keep struggling to piece things together yourself and keep putting in maximum effort with minimal results and keep burning yourself out. Or you can invest in yourself and your students and carve out just a couple hours a week for the next few months to learn this system. So instead of struggling for years like I did, you can start shaving hours off your workday and seeing your students get to their next level of independence. I'd love to have a chance to show you how to create an efficient system that helps your students meet their goals, so you can do what you set out to do when you decided to become an SLP in the first place, which was change people's lives. The ball is in your court now. All you have to do is click the link below to register for Language Therapy Advance. I hope to see you in the members area.
So I am going to pop back into the chat and come back on the screen, and I will be hanging out for the next 20 to 30 minutes or so, or however long you need me to answer some of your questions. So if you just hang tight, I will be back on the screen in just a few minutes.